it's Lisa from Lady Norway Energy Healing here, coming at you from her healing space. She's just doing it. She's not getting into camera ready. She's got a little bit of big hair. Don't care, you know, just moving forward. It's funny, when I pressed play on the camera to record this, the song that came into my head was The Facts of Life, the old television show from back in the 80s, I guess, like The Facts of Life. You can hear it from your brother and da 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 da. I can't think of the words right now, but it's the facts of life. You get a lot of strife. You got the future in the palm of your hands, and all you gotta do to get you through is understand. You know, anyway, if I really thought about it, I could get all the words down pat. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just doing a little quick collective energy reading, and I did a little bit of just when I was getting ready and I was opening up, I wrote down some stuff, so I'm going to do that. And I got some really nice incense here, Palo Santo and Florida water, so we're going to light those up too. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting, the facts of life. These are the facts of life. I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, it could be relevant for somebody. Yeah, so I'll just guess before I get going here on, I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Energy Oracle. Yeah, interesting stuff coming through here. Interesting to say the least. Yeah, so I've got, yeah, it's this one, Sandra Ann Taylor. It's Energy Oracle. Got it from my aunt. She actually found it at a secondhand store. So I cleansed it, put it in a pile of crystals and let it sort of acclimate. And it's been really, it's an incredible little deck. I really like it. It's well used, well used. Anyway, I'm going to try to shuffle and read what I wrote here. Yeah, so the first thing that sort of came up was, well, Pisces season. We're in Pisces season now. So that's the last house in the astrological wheel before we head into Aries. So we have, well, Pisces, water energy, and it's mutable. So, but I've got this feeling of like kind of dreamy, emotional, watery, like, let's pretend that's not happening. That what came through. Let's pretend that's not happening. And so I had this dream last night, and I woke up around 4. So I'm wondering what happened around 4 o'clock. I don't know my time, Pacific time. There was something happening in the sky, but so I had this dream, and it was a lunch lady. There was a lunch lady behind the counter at a cafeteria, and I don't know how to close off my notifications when I'm trying to do this. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So there was a lunch lady in my dream. So it's a classic lunch lady. So somebody, you know, behind the counter, hairnet, you know, slopping through stuff at a cafeteria, at a high school cafeteria. So I never had a cafeteria healer of ages, an angel of love there, just when I was healer of ages, angel of love. Got the angel of love yesterday, so that helper angel is around that energy. So just keep remembering that love is the answer and the key. But back to this lunch lady thing, I never had a cafeteria where I went to school, in high school. We didn't have one, so, but, you know, we went uptown. We went at lunch. You could go uptown and you could, you know, smoke cigarettes and, you know, whatever else, and buy sandwiches and at the deli uptown kind of thing. So we didn't have that, but I always thought it would be kind of cool to go to a high school that had that. But you know, that's just because you're watching stuff. You're a kid and you're thinking you're watching other shows about high schools that had cafeterias, and you know the stuff that all went down at cafeterias. You know, there's lots of drama. But it is interesting. I because I never did. I thought that was strange that I had this lunch lady now. As far as like recognizing her, not at all. But just if I think of a classic lunch lady, hairnet, you know, slopping food out onto trays for kids at a cafeteria. So I don't know what that is, but I guess what I wrote here is it kind of brought up a little bit of like, you know, going into a lunchroom maybe if you're a kid and you were going into your cafeteria, and just sort of that mean girl vibe, like the possibility of a mean girl vibe, a mean girl energy. If you think of that show, you know, where they're sitting at the cool table, everybody wants to sit at the cool table or whatever. And maybe, I don't know, just that vibe of like maybe worrying about having to go into something like that you're not, you're feeling insecure about, you know, like having that feeling of like wanting to fit in but never fitting in. You know, the popular the popular people like the jocks and the, you know, the cheerleaders and stuff. Like we didn't have that in my school, but for some reason that's just, it's coming up. But yeah, and then also like just recognizing when I was writing this down, it just said like, you know, trying to fit in, like just trying to fit in, always feeling like you have to try to fit in. And recognizing that the way that we would do it is just like try to be anything but ourselves. Like, so maybe that's something to do with the energies right now, was like just realizing that whatever you have to offer to the world is a gift, and you just be you and authenticity, and, you know, be in integrity, and, you know, tell the truth, and, you know, I guess just be seen, be heard, don't change, like just do you, and everything will be fine. But back in those times when you're younger, I guess maybe less confident, maybe less less sure of yourself. And I mean, even now I have that, like sometimes wondering if that's, I'm not 100% confident. So this is interesting that it's coming up. So if it's making sense, just the way that it was coming up, it might feel it's like it's a little bit choppy. But I also wrote like, you know, feeling insecure, the cool kids, the popular people, and, you know, feeling like how people try, or how this energy is feeling like how we would try to fit in, and by doing that we think that we have to act and be anything but ourselves. It's such a funny thing, and you recognize that that's not the case. When I was writing this, I saw a butterfly and the color blue, and a mask, like a theater mask. Like I was trying to, you know, those porcelain masks, those white masks that you tie on, and it's kind of like the symbol of like the arts or the theater or whatever. They have no expression. They're kind of scary. Well, I mean, they're not scary, but they have like, one has a frown, one has a smile, you know, those kind of masks. Anyway, that came up. And also the beginning or a starting line of a racetrack, like, you know, when you're, you know, the line that somebody's gonna shoot the gun kind of thing, and so it's track and field, so kind of like back to like high school. I don't know, it's weird. So maybe there's some things coming back around, like maybe because of the energies now, and you know, maybe there's some stuff that's coming back up from earlier on in our lives, or something that we're needing to process. Maybe energies are coming back around to be felt or looked at again. Fortunately, things can be processed with a more mature lens. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but, you know, sometimes if you go back to some of your experiences when you were younger, like your childhood, adolescence, young adults, and you see them for what they were basically happening, you know, these experiences were teaching you lessons, things that taught you what you wanted and what you didn't want. So they were necessary, but, you know, this is back to that whole thing, like it's all happening for our highest good and the highest good of all, like the good and the bad, all of it. You have to kind of like embrace all of it. But going back to some of these tougher times, I think when you're younger, I mean, when you're older too, I mean, it's not just that, it's just that at least now you can see things with a more mature lens, like from a different perspective, and understanding that you know, these things are all happening for our highest good. So that was basically all I got there. And then I will just pull a couple cards. I don't know, just maybe even one, just to even have something come up. This little deck is always like so ideal for energies, like what's happening. It's reading the room. It's reading the room. No, it's reading more in the room. Because I'm kind of like tapping into some collective energies and kind of getting these downloads. So they, you know, this might be a bit clunky, but maybe there's something in there that resonates for you. I got two more. Yeah, so anyway, hopefully this finds you well and everything's good in your hood. Okay, this is the Temple Path. The Temple Path. That's kind of a nice looking card. It's got all these little lights around. Yeah, the Temple Path. So the temple, I mean, I see these orbs around this. Reminds me of kind of like crossed over level ends. You know, definitely, you know, ancestors and spirit. That's what I'm looking at. Spirit or angels, guides. And there's a little bit of a spiral, kind of like a spiral on the ground there. And it's beautiful setting. You know, I think it's like the temple within, like it's also talking about maybe like your inner temple, the temple path, like finding your way to yourself. You know, like understanding that this is available. It's part of the path, maybe your spiritual path, your spiritual journey. Like that's where we're headed. Is to get ourselves to know ourselves within. The temple within is what I'm seeing. I mean, also too, like even with dreaming, like astral travel and stuff like that, or working in dream time or astral. I mean, these are some of the places where you might go to get some information for, you know, maybe some type of helper guide that you get in touch with or whatever. That could be that as well. And to like recognize that some of these messages are coming through, and the way that you can actually access them or hear them or see them or whatever, however you work. Yet sometimes you got to get quiet and, you know, sort of meditate and get to that place, get to that frequency. This is a frequency. This is a vibrational frequency that when you match, you raise up your vibration. And that's what happens when you do meditation. You raise up your frequency and then you can access this temple. So, you know, you're on the path. I think that's what I'm hearing right now is you're on the path. And that, there's 3 lights, and then it's a 12 card. And so that's the 3. So threes might be important. And I've got this angel book here for numbers. So let me just look. So 33, you have a strong and clear connection with one or more ascended masters. Okay, so who have answered your call and your prayers. Keep talking to them as they're helping you with your present situation. Oh, so that's interesting, hey? Not that it's a 3, but I think of like, you know, 3s are ascended masters energy. So this is interesting. The ascended masters are helping you. Usually this means an ascended master you feel close to. For example, Jesus, Kuan Yin, a saint, or some other spiritual religious figure. So I'm getting that definitely. And I mean, you know, like I think yesterday's reading I was talking about Metatron, Archangel Metatron, and he's kind of like he's the holder of, you know, he's at the gate of the Akashic record. So maybe, you know, there's some tapping into that sort of frequency of like, you know, if you're in a position of trying to figure out what it is that you're supposed to do, where you're going, what, like, what's this all about? Like, sometimes, we go along and we think, what's this all about? Like, what are we doing? You can kind of tap into that energy, of whatever guide is presenting for you, or whichever one you feel. We did have, on the split, there was the healer of ages, so that's Christ consciousness. That's that light that we're talking about. Yeah, so that's interesting. So that's not religious, right? That's actually, yeah, Christ consciousness is kind of like, and to me, it's grounded in the earth. I would get that. I would feel like if I was going to tap in, it's more of a from the earth up is how I feel. Yeah, so I was looking for that card. I'm just going to pull one more card. I was looking for the Healer of the Ages card, and I might read it from the book just to see what it says. But yeah, so that's interesting. A butterfly, the color blue, a racetrack, like the beginning of a racetrack, like where somebody's, on your mark, get set, go. And a lunch lady. Oh, and it's a walking away card. So maybe walking away from that feeling of being insecure, walking away from something, walking away. And that's a 9. That's 27. That's a 9. So getting close to a completion. This is showing like, walking through a gate, but it's beautiful. It's like spring. It reminds me of spring. So maybe 9 is, well, that September. Maybe springtime, but spring, it's looking like spring. It's walking away. And walking away probably towards this, whatever this is. So walking away from something and moving towards this sort of temple path. I think that's what I'm kind of seeing there. And like, kind of being open to messages, being open to the frequency of those ascended masters, whichever one, whoever it is. But it feels like, well, Metatron was here yesterday, and the Healer of the Ages. I'm just going to find it because it was on the split. It was on the split. Where did you go? Where did you go? Yeah, and the Facts of Life. That's so interesting. That's that old show I used to watch when I was a kid. It's hilarious. Where'd you go? Isn't that interesting? Wait, I can't find it now? It's not supposed to find it? The Healer of the Ages. On the split when I was just doing that, it came up, and the Angel of Love, right? So did I just put it, did it fall on the ground or something? Like, what is happening? There he is. Yeah, the Healer of the Ages. So, and I'm going to read that one. Yeah, so that's that Christ consciousness. But that's also, too, about the same thing about, like, I was talking about sort of anchoring into that, like, through the earth. Like, that's how I kind of feel. But also, too, I mean, that's something that's just could be, that's that divine, that Christ consciousness is also very divine, cosmic. So, depending on where it comes from for you, but the Healer of the Ages, so that's Christ consciousness. So not religion, but that light that was seated on the planet, that miraculous conception, whatever, like whatever that is. Like, there's so many Talks about health, and so the healer of the ages, it talks about health and vitality. This powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of the divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening up to this wonderful sensation now. So you can call upon this emissary or of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. So an important healing is taking place, and the little affirmations are pretty good in here. The powerful healing of eternal love is with me now. Divine consciousness fills every cell. I am whole, healthy, vital, and at peace. This is good. This is good. And the temple path, I'm just going to read it because, you know, there's spiritual purpose and support. So definitely support happening. This winding path leads to a blessed temple and a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for you in this lifetime. This card, can you see it? This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of your soul's process. You are on a karmic path heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides. Yeah. Yeah. And all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and their inspiration. This is a wonderful life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connections. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. Yeah, so that's good. So you're just, it says it is like a time where your soul is saying, yes, you are headed in the right direction. I open my heart to my spiritual truth and a deeper connection with spirits. Guidance and inspiration come freely and easily to me. Yeah. 27 is walking away. Just having a little peek. Letting go and moving on. So it's walking away into this like unknown. And that's what I was saying in another reading. I can't remember. But just saying that, you know, this is the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. We've never been here before. And as we walk away from our old life, I notice, oh, there is a butterfly there. Oh, okay. But that's like a pink. I was seeing the color blue. So the color blue is your throat chakra. So, you know, maybe just, I've been doing a little bit of stuff where I've been doing some music and using my voice and sort of making some stuff for meditations and stuff like that, and it's good to do. It's kind of like sometimes you can't really move through something until you speak it. You know, like our words are spells, so it's important to sort of like that frequency, put that frequency out into the world. So maybe there's something there with the color blue, being able to say how you really feel, or to work it out, whatever that looks like. So therapy, you know, therapy, counselors, mentor, somebody that you trust that you can talk to, you know, stuff like that. What does it say here too? There may be something that you're finished with, perhaps a career, a goal, a relationship, a long-term experience of any kind. Yeah, it's good time to let go of an old habit or emotional pattern, false belief. No matter how deeply ingrained or negative pattern may be, you have the power now to release it and move on to a freer, healthier way of thinking and relating to yourself and others. So whether it's in the inner or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and resources to walk away from the old and move forward to the new. Oh, I love this. It's safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all of my options and then take action on my own behalf. Yeah, so there you have it. The temple path, the healer of the ages came out. So, you know, you've got that energy around. There's definitely somebody stepping forward to say, hey, if you need some help, here I am. definitely a Ascended Masters type energy. So, you know, you could look into that, look into some of that Ascended Masters and the walking away, but also kind of walking towards this temple path and with the guidance of your crossed over loved ones, or, you know, helper spirits, angels, source, whatever you want to call it. But there you go. Okay, well, that's it. That's it for now. All right, well, I hope this helped, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to get more of this content, and it helps me and it helps my channel if you hit the like or comment, you know, gets things seen. And then just make sure that in the description there's a link to a couple different things, to my website and the services that I offer, and there's a place that you could donate for buy me a coffee, and also there's a whole bunch of other stuff on there from before that if you wanted to check out some of my stuff, feel free. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay, ciao for now. Bye.